Welcome, everyone, to the Best English Podcast. My name is Olivia, and I'm here with the wonderful James.
Hello, everybody. It's fantastic to be with you.
We want to start today by asking you a question. What if we told you that in the next 30 minutes, you could learn the single most important secret to becoming a confident English speaker?
And what if we told you that it has nothing to do with memorizing grammar rules or studying long lists of vocabulary?
It's a change in mindset, a simple shift in how you think about speaking that can unlock everything for you. It's the difference between feeling stressed and feeling free when you talk.
And that's our promise to you in today's episode. We're not just going to give you tips, we're going to give you a whole new way to think about your English journey. Are you ready?
We know you are. Let's begin. Let's start with the biggest, scariest thing for most learners, the speaking part itself. James, why do you think speaking is often the hardest skill for people to develop? They can read, they can listen, but when it comes to opening their mouths, it's terrifying.
Oh, it's the ultimate fear, isn't it? It's like standing on the edge of a swimming pool. You've watched videos on how to swim, you've read books about it, you know the theory, but actually jumping in? That's a whole different story. I think it boils down to one powerful emotion: fear.
I completely agree. And it's not just one fear, is it? It's a whole family of fears. There's the fear of making a mistake, the fear of using the wrong word or the wrong grammar.
Yes, and the fear of people correcting you, or worse, laughing at you. And then there's that horrible moment when your mind goes completely blank. You know the word in your native language, but the English word just disappears. Poof, gone.
Oh, that feeling is the worst. It feels like a spotlight is suddenly on you. And in that moment of panic, you forget every single English word you've ever learned. It's a very real and very common experience. I want everyone listening to know if you have felt this way, you are not alone.
Absolutely not. Every single person learning a language has been there. I think a big part of this fear comes from how we learn in school. In school, it's all about tests and getting the right answer. If you make a mistake, you get a red mark on your paper. So we are trained to believe that mistakes are bad.
That's such a brilliant point, James. We carry that school mindset into our adult lives. But here's the secret we want to share with you today. When it comes to speaking a language, mistakes are not your enemy. They are your best friend.
They really are. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. They are signposts. They show you what you need to work on. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying new things. And if you're not trying new things, you're not growing.
So, the very first step in becoming a confident speaker is to change your relationship with mistakes. We need to reframe it in our minds. Instead of thinking, oh no, I made a mistake, I'm so stupid, try thinking, oh, interesting. That didn't sound right. Let me try that a different way.
I love that. It's about curiosity, not judgment. Be a detective in your own language journey. When you make a mistake, you found a clue. For example, let's say you say, I go to the cinema yesterday, and someone gently corrects you, oh, you mean you went to the cinema yesterday?
Right. The old mindset would be, I'm terrible at past tense. I'm a failure. The new mindset is, okay. For yesterday, I need to change go to went. Got it. You've just learned something practical that you will remember because you experienced it. It's so much more powerful than just memorizing a grammar table.
So how do we actually do this? How do we take this idea and make it practical? For me, the key is to start small. Incredibly small. Don't decide your first speaking practice is going to be a 30-minute debate on politics with a native speaker. That's like trying to climb Mount Everest on your first day of hiking.
Exactly. You'll just end up discouraged. What's a small start for you, James?
A small start could be as simple as going to a coffee shop and just saying hello and thank you in English. That's it. Just 2 words. The next day, maybe you say, a black coffee, please, and have a nice day.
That's perfect. It's about creating tiny, successful experiences. Each time you do it and the world doesn't end, your brain learns that speaking English is safe. You're building a foundation of confidence, brick by tiny brick.
Another great way to start small is to find a safe speaking environment. This could be a language exchange partner who is also learning your language. They will understand your struggles completely. They are there to practice with you. They are not there to judge you. They are there to practice with you.
Finding a language partner is a game changer. There are so many apps and websites now where you can find people from all over the world who want to practice. The key is to find someone you feel comfortable with. It's okay if the first person isn't a perfect match. Find someone who is patient and encouraging.
And when you speak with them, set some ground rules. You could say, hey, my main goal today is just to speak freely. Please don't correct every single mistake. Maybe you can just tell me one or two important things at the end. This gives you the freedom to talk without fear.
I love that idea of setting the rules. It puts you in control of your own learning. Another thing that I think is incredibly powerful is talking to yourself.
Okay, it sounds a little crazy, but it is one of the most effective things you can do. Tell me more, Olivia.
Well, who is the safest person to talk to? You. You will never judge yourself. You will never laugh at your own mistakes. So start narrating your life in English. When you're making breakfast, say it out loud. Okay, now I'm getting the eggs out of the fridge. I'm going to crack the eggs into the bowl. I need a little bit of salt.
Yes, it feels silly for about 2 minutes, and then it becomes natural. You're practicing sentence structure, you're searching for vocabulary, and there is zero pressure. Zero. You could be in your car describing the traffic. Wow, that red car is driving very fast. I think I will be late today.
It's an amazing way to activate the English part of your brain. And the more you do it, the faster those words and sentences will come to you when you're in a real conversation. You're building the pathways in your brain. So let's recap our first big idea. To overcome the fear of speaking, we need to change our mindset about mistakes. Embrace them. Start small with tiny, achievable goals. Find a safe person to practice with. And don't be afraid to talk to yourself.
It's all about building that psychological safety first. Once you feel a little more comfortable, then you can start thinking about the next big challenge. What words do I actually use? Which brings us to our next topic, building your vocabulary in a way that's actually fun. Vocabulary, the building blocks of language. Now, when I say vocabulary, what's the first thing that comes to mind for most people, Olivia?
I imagine a long, boring list of words in a notebook, or maybe flashcards with single words on them. And the classic advice, read the dictionary.
Please, for the love of English, do not just read the dictionary. That is the fastest way to get bored and give up. Vocabulary learning should be an adventure, not a punishment.
I agree. The problem with learning from lists is that you're learning words in isolation. You learn that exquisite means very beautiful, but you have no idea how to use it in a sentence. You don't know what words it usually goes with.
Exactly. Words are like people. They have friends. They hang out in groups. This is called collocation. For example, we don't just say a fast decision, we say a quick decision. We don't say do a mistake, we say make a mistake. Learning these word friends is more important than learning 1,000 individual words.
So how do we learn these word friends, these collocations, in a natural way? The answer is context. You need to find words living in their natural habitat.
And where is that? It's in things you already love. This is my favorite tip. Connect English to your hobbies and passions. Whatever you love doing in your own language, start doing it in English.
Let's break that down. Say you love cooking. What could you do?
Oh, easy. Start by finding a simple recipe in English on YouTube. Find a chef you like, someone who speaks clearly. Watch the video with English subtitles. You will see the ingredients, you will see the actions, and you will hear the words. You'll learn words like chop, sauté, whisk, preheat the oven.
And you're learning them in context. You see the person chopping an onion when they say the word chop. That connection is so much stronger than just seeing the word in a list. Then you can try following the recipe yourself, maybe even saying the steps out loud, just like we suggested earlier.
What if you're into video games?
Even better, switch the language of your favorite game to English. You will learn so much relevant vocabulary related to quests, items, and instructions, and you'll be motivated to understand because you want to win the game. You can also watch streamers on platforms like Twitch who play the game in English.
Yes. Or maybe you love football. Start reading sports news websites in English like BBC Sport or ESPN. Listen to English commentators during a match. At first, it will be fast, but your brain will start to pick up the repeated phrases like, "What a goal! He's offside! A brilliant save by the goalkeeper."
The key here is that you are not studying. You are enjoying your hobby. The English learning is a happy side effect. It's effortless and enjoyable. This is how you stay motivated for the long term.
And of course, there are the big ones, movies and TV shows. They are a gold mine for natural modern English, including slang and idioms.
But there's a right way and a wrong way to use them, isn't there? If you just put on a complex movie and feel lost, you'll get frustrated.
Absolutely. Here's a method I recommend. Let's call it the three-step movie method. Step 1. Watch a short scene, maybe just 2 or 3 minutes, with subtitles in your native language. The goal here is just to understand the story. What is happening? Who are the characters?
Okay, so you're not worried about the English at all in step 1. You're just getting the context.
Exactly. Step 2. Watch the same scene again, but this time with English subtitles. Now your brain already knows the story, so it can focus on connecting the English words you're hearing and reading to the meaning you already understand. Pause the video whenever you hear an interesting phrase.
And this is when you use a notebook, right? But not for a long list of single words.
Right. You write down the entire phrase or sentence. Don't just write hilarious. Write down, that joke was absolutely hilarious. Now you know how to use it. You've learned the word and its friends.
I love that. And step 3?
Step 3. Watch the same scene one more time, but with no subtitles. This is the magic step. Now you are just listening. You'll be amazed at how much more you understand. Your brain has been trained on that scene, and you'll start to pick up the rhythm, the intonation, and the pronunciation of the language.
That is such a powerful technique. It's active learning, not passive watching. It takes a little more effort, but the results are so much better. And it's fun. You're watching your favorite movie.
Music is another fantastic tool. Find an English song you love. First, just listen and enjoy it. Then, look up the lyrics online. Read them as you listen. You'll discover new words and phrases, and because they're set to music, they're often much easier to remember.
And then you can try singing along. Singing is amazing for your pronunciation. You're trying to match the singer's sounds, rhythm, and stress. It's like a secret pronunciation lesson, even if you're a terrible singer like me.
Especially if you're a terrible singer. It's not about performance, it's about practice. So, for vocabulary, the message is clear. Forget boring lists. Immerse yourself in English content that you genuinely find interesting. Learn words in chunks, in full sentences, and always in context.
Perfect. So we've talked about overcoming fear, and we've talked about building vocabulary in a fun way. Now, let's move on to something that worries a lot of people: pronunciation and accent.
Ooh, this is a sensitive topic. People can be very self-conscious about their accent. The first thing I want to say is this: your accent is not a problem.
Say it louder for the people in the back, James.
A little louder, with a smile. Your accent is not a problem. An accent is a part of who you are. It tells a story about where you come from. There are hundreds of accents in English, even among native speakers. Someone from Texas sounds very different from someone from London. who sounds very different from someone from Sydney. All are correct.
Exactly. The goal is not to sound like a perfect American or British newsreader. The goal is clarity. The goal is for people to understand you easily. We should focus on clear pronunciation, not on eliminating your accent.
That's such an important distinction. Accent is the music of your language. Pronunciation is about making the individual sounds correctly so that your words are clear. For example, the difference between ship and sheep. If you mix those up, it can cause confusion. That's a pronunciation issue.
So, how can our listeners work on improving their pronunciation for better clarity?
My number one favorite technique is called shadowing. Have you ever tried this, Olivia?
I have. It's really interesting. Can you explain how it works?
It's simple, but incredibly powerful. You find a short audio clip of a native speaker. It could be from a podcast like this one, an audio book, or a TED Talk. You play the audio, and you try to speak at the exact same time as the speaker, copying them as closely as you can.
You're like their shadow, following everything they do.
Precisely. You're not waiting for them to finish a sentence. You are speaking with them. You try to copy their rhythm, their intonation, the rise and fall of their voice, and the way they link words together.
This is so effective because it gets you out of your head. You're not thinking about grammar rules, you're just focused on mimicking the sounds. It trains the muscles in your mouth to move in new ways.
It does. At first, it will feel very strange and you might stumble over the words. That's okay. Start with just 30 seconds of audio. Do it again and again. You will be amazed at how quickly your speaking starts to sound more natural and fluid.
Another classic but fun tool is tongue twisters. They seem silly, but they are like a gym workout for your mouth.
They are. They are designed to practice difficult sounds. For example, the TH sound is often hard for learners. You can practice with something like, I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought.
Wow, you did that perfectly. It's a challenge, but it isolates specific sounds. Another famous one is she sells seashells by the seashore. That one is great for practicing the S and SH sounds.
And don't just say them fast. Say them slowly and carefully at first, really focusing on the shape your mouth is making. You can even use the camera on your phone to watch yourself speak. See how your lips and tongue are moving.
That brings up another great tip. Record yourself. I know. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. It can be a little cringy.
It's so cringy, but it is one of the most valuable things you can do. Record yourself reading a short paragraph from a book or an article. Then listen back. You will hear things that you don't notice when you are speaking. You might realize you're not pronouncing the S at the end of plural words, for example.
It gives you self-awareness. You can't fix a problem if you don't know it exists. You can even compare your recording to a native speaker reading the same text. What are the differences? This isn't about judgment, it's about observation.
So for pronunciation, embrace your accent. Focus on clarity. Practice with shadowing to get the natural rhythm and flow. Use tongue twisters to work out your mouth muscles. And record yourself to become aware of areas you can improve.
And remember to be patient with yourself. You've been speaking your native language your whole life. It takes time to teach your mouth new tricks. Every little bit of practice helps.
Okay, we've covered fear, vocabulary, and pronunciation. We need to talk about the G word, Olivia.
Yes. Grammar. The source of so much stress and anxiety for learners.
It's true. I think people imagine huge, complicated books filled with rules and exceptions, and it just feels overwhelming. People get so scared of breaking a grammar rule that they prefer not to speak at all.
Which is the worst possible outcome. So let's try to reframe grammar, just like we did with mistakes. Grammar is not a set of rules designed to punish you. Grammar is a tool for clear communication.
It's the framework. It's the skeleton that holds your words together so they make sense. If I say, I store yesterday go, you might understand me, but it's difficult. The grammar is messy. If I use grammar and say, I went to the store yesterday, the meaning is instantly clear.
The goal is communication, not perfection. You do not need to know every single grammar rule in the English language to be an effective speaker. Not even native speakers know them all.
That's a fact. I couldn't explain the past perfect continuous tense to you with technical terms if you asked me. I just know how it feels and when to use it from a lifetime of hearing it. So our advice is not to get lost in grammar books.
Instead, focus on patterns. Notice the patterns you hear and read. For example, when you read a story, you'll notice that most of the verbs have ed on the end. You start to recognize that as a pattern for talking about the past.
And focus on the grammar that is most common and most important for communication. Don't worry about very advanced, rare structures at the beginning. Master the basics first. Tenses are a big one. Can you talk simply about the present, the past, and the future?
Let's give a simple example. Instead of studying 12 tenses, just focus on a few key ones. For the present, you can say, I work as a teacher. For the past, I worked as a teacher for 5 years. For the future, I am going to work as a teacher. With just those simple structures, you can communicate a lot.
Another tip is to learn grammar in context, just like vocabulary. When you learn a new phrase from a movie, don't just learn the words, notice the grammar. If you hear a character say, if I were you, I would take the job. You've just learned a beautiful piece of grammar, the second conditional, in a real, memorable context.
That's so much better than learning a rule that says, for hypothetical situations in the present or future, use if plus past simple, would plus base verb. One is a story, the other is a formula. Our brains remember stories much better.
So what if you know you have a specific, repeated grammar problem? For example, a lot of people struggle with prepositions, words like in, on, and at.
That's a great question. In that case, it is useful to do some focused practice. But again, don't just read a list of rules. Make it active. You could find an online quiz about prepositions, or you could write 5 sentences about your own day using in, on, and at. I wake up at 7 a.m. I live in a small apartment. I have a meeting on Friday.
By making it personal, you make it memorable. So, for grammar, see it as a tool, not a test. Focus on communication, not perfection. Learn through patterns and context, not just rules. And if you have a specific problem, do short bursts of focused, active practice.
Okay, this is all fantastic information. We've talked about mindset, words, sounds, and structure, but how do we put it all together? How do we build a real consistent practice habit in our busy lives?
This is the million-dollar question. Because knowledge is great, but action is what creates results. And I think people often believe they need to study for hours every day to make progress.
Which is not sustainable for most people. Life gets in the way. You have work, family, other responsibilities. If you set a goal that's too big, you'll do it for a few days, get tired, and then quit completely.
The key is consistency over intensity. I would rather see a student practice for 10 minutes every single day than for 2 hours once a week.
I call it the 5-minute English day. Everyone has 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes while you wait for the bus, while your coffee is brewing, or before you go to sleep. The secret is deciding in advance what you will do in those 5 minutes.
I love that. Let's brainstorm some 5-minute English activities. I'll start. 1. The narrate your life technique we mentioned. Just for 5 minutes, describe what you were doing or seeing out loud.
2. Pick one new vocabulary phrase you learned. Remember, a whole phrase, not just a word, and your mission for the day is to use it. You can say it out loud to yourself, write it in a message to a friend, or try to use it in a real conversation.
3. The shadowing technique. Find a 1-minute audio clip and shadow it 5 times. That's your 5 minutes, and it's an incredible workout for your pronunciation.
4. Send a voice message in English to a friend or a language partner. It's less pressure than a live call. You can think about what you want to say. Just describe something interesting about your day.
5. Read 1 page of a book or 1 short news article out loud. This helps with pronunciation and gets you comfortable with the physical act of producing English sounds.
6. Watch a short 2-minute clip from a TV show you love, using the 3-step method we talked about. It might take a bit longer than 5 minutes, but you can do 1 step each day.
This is the way to integrate English into your life in small, manageable, and enjoyable ways. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth.
And it creates momentum. When you successfully complete your 5-minute task, you feel good, you feel accomplished, and that makes you want to do it again the next day. It's a positive cycle.
I think we should do something practical right now, Olivia. We've been talking a lot of theory. Let's do a little role play. Let's demonstrate a very common, simple conversation and then break it down for our listeners.
What a great idea. What's the scenario?
Let's do the classic ordering a coffee. It's one of the first real-world interactions many people have when they travel. I'll be the barista and you be the customer.
Okay, I'm ready. I feel a little nervous.
In a friendly, slightly louder barista voice, "Hi there, welcome. What can I get for you today?"
Hi, can I get a latte, please?
Absolutely. What size would you like? We have small, medium, or large.
I'll have a medium, please.
Great choice. And would you like that with regular milk, or do you prefer oat or almond milk?
Oh, regular milk is fine, thank you.
Perfect. Will that be to have here or to take away?
To take away, please.
All right. 1 medium latte with regular milk to take away. Your total is $4.50. Will you be paying with cash or card?
Card, please.
Okay, just tap your card right here whenever you're ready.
Beep, there you go.
Awesome, thank you. We'll have your name for the order?
It's Olivia. Olivia.
Got it, Olivia. We'll call your name when it's ready over at the counter on the left. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
And scene. See? A simple, successful interaction. Now let's break that down. There are some really useful phrases in there.
I started with, "Can I get a latte, please?" This is a very common and polite way to order. You could also say, "I'd like a latte, please," or "I'll have a latte, please." They're all great.
Then I asked, "What size would you like?" This is a standard question. And you replied, "I'll have a medium, please." Again, simple and perfect. Notice the use of please and thank you. Politeness goes a long way.
You also asked, "To have here" or "to take away." This is a very common phrase in cafes and restaurants. To take away or to go means you will take it out of the shop. To have here or for here means you will stay and drink it there.
Exactly. And at the end, I asked for your name for the order. This is common in busy coffee shops. And Olivia did something very helpful. She spelled her name. If you have a name that might be uncommon for English speakers, it's a great idea to be ready to spell it.
So our listeners could practice this little script by themselves. They can play both roles. Say the barista's lines, then say the customer's lines. The more you practice these small functional conversations, the more automatic they will become.
You won't even have to think about it when you're in a real coffee shop. The words will just be there ready for you.
I think we should do something practical right now, Olivia. We've been talking a lot of theory. Let's do a little role play. Let's demonstrate a very common, simple conversation and then break it down for our listeners.
What a great idea. What's the scenario?
Let's do the classic ordering a coffee. It's one of the first real-world interactions many people have when they travel. I'll be the barista and you be the customer.
Okay, I'm ready. I feel a little nervous.
In a friendly, slightly louder barista voice, "Hi there, welcome. What can I get for you today?"
Hi, can I get a latte, please?
Absolutely. What size would you like? We have small, medium, or large.
I'll have a medium, please.
Great choice. And would you like that with regular milk, or do you prefer oat or almond milk?
Oh, regular milk is fine, thank you.
Perfect. Will that be to have here or to take away?
To take away, please.
All right. One medium latte with regular milk to take away. Your total is $4.50. Will you be paying with cash or card?
Card, please.
Okay, just tap your card right here whenever you're ready.
Beep. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll have your name for the order.
It's Olivia. Olivia.
Got it, Olivia. We'll call your name when it's ready over at the counter on the left. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
And scene. See? A simple, successful interaction. Now let's break that down. There are some really useful phrases in there.
I started with, "Can I get a latte, please?" This is a very common and polite way to order. You could also say, "I'd like a latte, please," or "I'll have a latte, please." They're all great.
Then I asked, "What size would you like?" This is a standard question. And you replied, "I'll have a medium, please." Again, simple and perfect. Notice the use of please and thank you. Politeness goes a long way.
You also asked to have here or to take away. This is a very common phrase in cafes and restaurants. To take away or to go means you will take it out of the shop. To have here or for here means you will stay and drink it there.
Exactly. And at the end, I asked for your name for the order. This is common in busy coffee shops, and Olivia did something very helpful. She spelled her name. If you have a name that might be uncommon for English speakers, it's a great idea to be ready to spell it.
So our listeners could practice this little script by themselves. They can play both roles. Say the barista's lines, then say the customer's lines. The more you practice these small functional conversations, the more automatic they will become. You won't even have to think about it when you're in a real coffee shop.
The words will just be there, ready for you.
I think this might be a good time to answer some questions we've received from our listeners. It's a great way to address some more specific concerns.
Let's do it. I have the first one here. It's from Yuki in Japan. Yuki asks, "I live in a country where I can't practice with native speakers. How can I improve my speaking?"
Oh, that is such a common and important question. Yuki, you are not alone in this situation. The great news is, on October 1st, 2025, you have the world at your fingertips through the internet. We've already mentioned some great options. Finding a language exchange partner online is probably the #1 solution.
There are apps like HelloTalk or Tandem where you can find people to chat with via text, voice message, and video call. You can find someone who wants to learn Japanese, and you can help them while they help you with English. It's a win-win.
And remember, your speaking partner does not have to be a native speaker. Practicing with another learner can also be incredibly valuable. You're both in the same boat. You can practice without the pressure you might feel with a native speaker. The important thing is to just get the words out of your mouth.
And don't forget all the solo practice methods we talked about. Narrating your day, shadowing, reading out loud, singing songs. You can do all of that by yourself anytime, anywhere. You can make a huge progress in your speaking ability even before you ever speak to a native speaker.
Great answer. What's the next question?
This one is from Marco in Italy. Marco writes, "What should I do when I'm in the middle of a sentence and I forget a word? I panic and then I stop talking.
Marco, we have all been there. That panic is so real. My number one piece of advice here is don't stop. The goal is to keep the conversation flowing. You have a few strategies you can use.
The first one is to describe the word. Let's say you forget the word scissors. You could say, oh, what is that thing called? The tool you use for cutting paper. It has two parts. The other person will almost certainly say, oh, you mean scissors.
That's a brilliant strategy because you are actually practicing more English. You're using your vocabulary to solve a problem. It shows your skill. It doesn't show weakness. Another thing you can do is use a simpler word. Maybe you wanted to say the word enormous, but you forgot it. Just say very big. Communication is the goal. Simple and clear is always better than complicated and silent. And it's also perfectly okay to just be honest. You can pause, smile, and say, oh, sorry, the word has just escaped me. Or, I've lost my train of thought for a second. This is very natural. Even native speakers do this. It shows you're human, and it gives you a moment to breathe and reset.
Don't let one forgotten word derail the whole conversation. Keep swimming. Use your other words to get around the problem.
Excellent. One more question?
Let's do it. This is from Fatima in Egypt. She says, I can understand almost everything I hear in movies and podcasts, but when I try to speak, it feels like my brain is empty. Why is there such a big difference between my listening and speaking skills?
Fatima, you have perfectly described the difference between passive skills and active skills. Listening and reading are passive skills. The information is coming to you, and your job is to process it and understand it. But speaking and writing are active skills. You have to create something from nothing. You have to find the words, put them in the right order with the right grammar, and then produce the sounds with your mouth. It is so much more difficult.
It's like the difference between appreciating a beautiful painting and actually painting one yourself. They are two completely different skills. So, Fatima, it is completely normal for your listening ability to be much higher than your speaking ability, for every learner.
The only way to close that gap is by practicing the active skill, speaking. All the tips we've shared today are designed to help you do just that. You need to move the knowledge from the understanding part of your brain to the producing part of your brain. And the only way to build that bridge is by actively using the language.
So don't be discouraged by this gap. See it as a sign that you have a wonderful foundation of knowledge. You have the vocabulary, you have the grammar stored in there somewhere. Now it's time to activate it little by little through consistent practice.
Wow, we have covered so much ground today. From the psychology of fear to the practicalities of daily habits. I feel like we should do a quick summary of our main philosophy here at the Best English Podcast.
Let's do it. I think the most important idea is this: progress, not perfection. Don't wait until you think your English is perfect to start speaking. Start now with what you have.
Be kind to yourself. You are learning a complex skill. It's a marathon, not a sprint. There will be good days and bad days. Just keep showing up. Consistency is your superpower.
Make it fun. Connect English to your passions and hobbies. If you're enjoying the process, you will never want to stop. Find joy in watching a movie, understanding a song, or having a simple chat with a new friend.
And remember, the goal of English is not to get a perfect score on a test. The goal is to connect with people, to share ideas, to tell stories, and to understand other cultures. It's a tool for connection.
That's a beautiful way to put it, James. It really is all about connection. And we feel so connected to all of you, our amazing listeners, who are on this journey. We're so proud of you for showing up today and working on your English.
We really are. Every time you listen to a podcast or learn a new word, you are taking a step forward. Celebrate those small victories. They add up to something incredible.
Before we go, we want to leave you with a small challenge, a Best English Podcast challenge.
Ooh, I like this. What is it? We challenge you for the next 7 days to do just one 5-minute English activity every day. That's it. Just 5 minutes a day for a week. You can pick any of the ones we suggested or invent your own.
That's a great challenge, and we'd love to hear how it goes. You can leave a comment on our YouTube video for this episode and tell us what you did for your 5 minutes of practice each day. Share your successes, share your struggles.
We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you. It creates a community where we can all support and encourage each other. Your tip might be the exact thing that helps another listener.
Well, Olivia, this has been an amazing conversation. I feel so energized and inspired. I hope our listeners do too.
Me too. Thank you all so much for spending this time with us. Remember to be brave, be curious, and be consistent. You are doing an amazing job.
You absolutely are. That's all the time we have for today. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we will talk to you in the next episode of the Best English Podcast.
Bye for now.